Make sure you don't miss a thing. Go to starzology.com/newsletter and sign up. Welcome to the Starzology Astrology Podcast. I am your host, Alison Price, and I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Arwynne O'Neill.
Hello, Alison. It's great to be here again.
So wonderful to have you once more. Now, in this episode, we're going to be doing the 2026 look ahead.
Yes.
So what this means is we're going to give a general high-level overview of what's coming up astrologically in 2026. This is just a general overview for the whole year.
Yeah.
And during the year, we will do each month in more detail, but we just wanted to talk about the general trends that's unfolding and what's really happening, and highlight a few features that are of interest to astrologers.
Yeah.
Or anybody else for that matter. But it's more of a high level, call it a bird's eye view, I think, of of our look ahead about what's upcoming.
I love it.
What's coming up and what's upcoming as well. Yeah. The idea is that we're mainly going to be talking about definitely main ingresses when planets are changing signs. We are going to give a bit of a nod to the Mercury retrograde periods and other planets that happen to be retrograde, and one that is not retrograde. We'll also mention that. So there's quite a bit going on, and I'm just going to go through each month to start with and pick up the main things, but I'm not picking up every single thing that goes down in the year.
We won't be talking about full moons, new moons, all that kind of stuff. We'll talk about that every month as they come.
Yes. So just starting off clearly, we're going to start off in January, and the first thing on the 17th, Venus is moving into Aquarius. Pretty straightforward. So it's leaving Capricorn and moving into Aquarius. I'll go into that more in detail in the January thing. I just want to mention that shift of energy there. And then, of course, the sun is entering Aquarius. Now, that's on the 20th. It's not a good position for the sun because it's in its detriment. The sun is all about me, 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 and Aquarius is all about you, you, you.
Yeah.
So it is a bit of a conflict there as well.
Yeah. The sun goes into Aquarius every year. And
it does.
Aquarians know.
I know.
It's in their detriment, but but they manage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Next on the 20th, we've got Mercury joining the gang, all in Aquarius. So we know that that's on the 20th. So basically what we're saying there is the sun is conjoined Mercury on that day. We just happen to know that because we can see they're both entering Aquarius at the same time. And then on the 20th, we've got Saturn sextiling Uranus. I don't have a great detail about that at the moment, but Arwynne perhaps does.
I have a little note about that.
Okay.
And it happens a couple times this year.
Yeah.
So Saturn sextile Aquarius, we've actually, I believe, talked about this before, but it's going to be exact on the 20th. And it'll be exact a couple more times. The effects are basically felt in the background. It's not a super strong aspect because it is a sextile, but it bodes well for trends in revolutionary ideas being, brought forth into the conservative realm of politics and government and corporations.
We need that, don't we?
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, those are the strong forces that rule our current world, really. I mean, Saturn rules governments and corporations, and Uranus rules technology and brilliant ideas. And one could be more important than those two things. So, and the fact that those two are in sextile all year is great. And this will just kind of be a cosmic background radiation theme for the year.
Yes, really. It's interesting. Yeah, because the only aspects we're considering are actually the Ptolemaic. So that's the big five. That's the conjunction, the opposition, the trine, the square, and the sextile. As there are broad strokes, because I mean, there's so much else happening as well.
And if we're talking about aspects, we're going to probably mostly be talking about the aspects with the outer planets.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the inner planets make tons of aspects all the time.
All the time. Yeah. Yeah, so that's that. You got the Saturn sextiling Uranus. Then on the 23rd, Mars is joining the pack into Aquarius as well. So there's quite a gathering in January of Aquarius energy, more so than normal, even though the sun would be there. But now we've got Mercury, Venus, and Mars in there as well. Yeah. And then on the 26th, Neptune moves back into Aries for the final time. It's leaving Pisces behind.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, 12-year run.
Yeah. In Aries, but it won't be going back to Pisces for like 140 something odd years.
Exactly. It's been in Pisces for the last 12 years, and now it's
had its chance.
It's had exactly. Yeah. It is finally moving into Aries in earnest.
Yes. And we do have a link to our podcast episode about Neptune in Aries. There's quite a lot to it. So this is the final gasp now. Neptune at the tail end of January, Neptune finally moves into Aries, and that's it for Neptune in Aries for quite a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Then when we get into February, one thing I'm going to note here is on the 4th, we've got in bulk, which is the midpoint. This is when the sun is at 15 Aquarius. It's part of the wheel of the year, which I'm telling you, I'm leaning into it a lot more these days because I'm finding it very interesting as well. So this is one of the festivals on the wheel of the year, and we're going to talk a lot more about it in the new year as it comes up when we do our wheel of the year episode, which I think will be coming out a little after this one. And at that time, because there's 8 festivals within the wheel of the year, Arwynne's going to have 8 goddesses that we're going to associate with that, and that will be absolutely fabulous. But I can give you a clue here, and this one's going to be Bridget. Brigid, call it what you will.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of interesting.
Good Irish lass. Yeah.
Yes, of course. So there's a lot more to be said about that, but I'm just mentioning it.
Yeah.
And then on the 4th, we've got Uranus stationing direct. Well, that's good news. Yeah. Now we've got this shift happening here. So on the 6th, Mercury's going into Pisces. Yeah. On the 10th, Venus is going into Pisces. Yeah. Saturn's re-entering Aries again. So this is now for the last time, much like Neptune, it's now leaving Pisces behind finally and fully committed to the Aryan energy.
For sure.
So then on February the 17th, we do have a solar eclipse in Aquarius, and we will talk a little bit more about that, but that's the first eclipse of the first eclipse season for 2026. I think we'll have an eclipse episode coming up as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And then by the time we get to the 18th, the sun is going into Pisces, which is great.
Yeah. Love a good Pisces.
We do love this is our, well, they call it Pisces season, which I always think is weird because, I don't know, there's 12 seasons then. But anyway.
You have a lot of Pisceans in your family too. So
I do.
It is Pisces season.
They're everywhere.
I know. I've got a couple of very good Piscean friends.
Yes. And then on February 20th, we've got Saturn is conjoining Neptune. So bear in mind, they're both in Aries. It's an ongoing conjunction. This is another one.
And it is 0 Aries. That is the Aries point.
Wow.
That is...
it's a starting point.
Every once in a while, I quote Eric Francis from Planet Waves, and he called this the Aries point is the point where the personal is political, and vice versa, but specifically the personal is political, and the Aries point is it's the cardinal moment of the beginning of the zodiac. And it's crazy that Saturn conjunct Neptune is at that exact degree. That is major. I've done presentations and articles in the past about the Saturn-Neptune cycle.
Yeah.
I've talked about the opposition back in 2005. I talked about the square several years ago when that happened. And now the conjunction is coming along. The conjunction the cycle of Saturn and Neptune is incredibly fraught and interesting and symbolic.
They're so different.
They are so different. They are symbolically opposite. Saturn is about structure. It's about government. It's about control. It's about endings. It's about limitations. And Neptune is about everything that is nebulous and watery and delusional and aspirational and glamorous. And when they come together, there are political and generational and societal forces that are incredibly strong in those cardinal sort of the square, the opposition and the conjunction, of course. So yes, super interesting stuff. The conjunction of 1989, for example, brought about the fall of the Berlin Wall, the Tiananmen Square massacre, all of the unrest in Eastern Europe that brought about like all these different countries that broke off from the USSR. And and there's also a whole thing with natural disasters and floods and nuclear testing. And I've done a whole bunch of research on it. So it's an incredibly fascinating conjunction.
Yeah.
So look out for that.
Yeah. And it's not the only one, but it's definitely happening in February. So we're mentioning it in passing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, very interesting. We actually did a podcast on Saturn conjoining Neptune, so I'm putting a link to that as well. And if you click through below this podcast or the YouTube video, that you can link through to the main blog post with all the information here that maybe we're just passing by. Yeah. So there's a lot more information and resources there for you to explore.
Yeah.
So then on February 26th, Mercury makes its first station retrograde.
Yeah.
So Mercury's retrograde 3 times in 2026, and they're all happening in water signs. So it's a full-blown water retrograde year for
Wow.
Mercury. It's not even crossing over the sign borders, which is kind of interesting. I had to double check that because I thought, really?
Wow.
And yes, it's the case. So this is the first time. This one will be occurring in Pisces. And you'll see as we go through the year that there will be others as well.
Wow. Rehashing emotions, anyone?
Well, it's going to, there's a lot to it. And that's kind of an interesting thing. There is a diagram on the blog post about how these planets are moving. And you can see there quite clearly that Mercury in the green is doing the 3 retrograde movements as well. So
I have to interject here because if you're not looking at the blog post, I strongly urge you to go look at Starzology.com. There is an incredible diagram. This is hand drawn by Alison, and it is. I'm staring at it right now. I'm enthralled. I'm amazed. I'm impressed. And this is the kind of thing that I wish I had understood 20 so years ago when I was just getting back into astrology after my brief foray as a child / tween, and then trying to understand retrogrades and all these things. And it visualizes it so beautifully, all the different colors and the retrogrades, and it all just kind of makes sense. And it's amazing.
Yeah. I thank you. Thank you for saying that. I enjoy doing astrology art, and I like making visual representations because it's so easy to, what they say, a picture is 1,000 words or something.
Yeah, they do.
So hopefully that is 1,000 words and not just 1,000 questions when you look at it.
It really is. I mean, this is something I've been saying all the time in my job, interviews lately. Is just like, I'm great at like taking complex ideas and making them concise and turning them into, stories. But this is taking it one step further and turning, symbols and stories and cycles into something that you can actually just kind of grok visually.
Yeah, it's
and yes, I said grok. So,
grok. Well, there you go. So there is a diagram where you can clearly see the retrograde period. So that's why I did it this way, because I want to be able to visualize it as well. As an astrologer, you need to know when these things are going down. You need to know that Mercury's only retrograde in water. This hasn't happened since God knows when.
Right.
Because normally it's encroaching in the other signs, but it's totally encompassed this time. So that's really interesting. Giving a full emphasis on water, it's meaning that Mercury's staying in water signs way longer than any other sign. So adding to that element.
A very watery year.
Yes, super interesting there. So that's so that's really February unfolding. Yeah. Then we start off with March 2026, and straight up on the 2nd, Mars now moves into Pisces too. It's trying to keep up with where's the party happening.
The party's in Pisces.
Yeah, the party's definitely in Pisces, but Mars finally catches up. Yeah. And then on March the 3rd, we've got the lunar eclipse in Virgo. So this is the lunar eclipse, which is 2 weeks after the solar eclipse we had last month. So that is going to be happening in Virgo. And it's the second eclipse of the first season. There's only 4 eclipses next year. Well, in 2026. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the energy is shifting further. On the 6th, we've got Venus moving straight into Aries, crossing the Aries point, moving into Aries. It'll be hitting Saturn and Neptune as it goes by, which is great. And then on the 11th, we've got Jupiter is stationing direct. So Jupiter has started off the year retrograde, but it's now actually turning direct now. Yeah. So that's going to release that as well, because the outer planets are only direct once a year, whereas the inner planets are direct Mercury is direct multiple times each year. Yeah. And then on the 20th, we've got the sun entering Aries. So this is the beginning of the zodiac. It's the first sign, and we're starting all over again. It's also known as the vernal equinox, the spring equinox as well. Yeah. Or Ostara, which is part of the Wheel of the Year.
Another goddess.
Well, there you are. And we will definitely, we're doing an episode on Wheel of the Year, and we'll explore this a lot more then, which is so interesting.
Yeah, and if you follow me, you'll know that March is always the beginning of roller skating season. So I will I will be a delighted little roller skater again.
Yeah.
After the long, cold, wet winter.
The winter goes on and on in Canada. It really does. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then on March the 20th, Mercury then stations direct, because it's only really retrograde 24 to 26 days in general. Yeah. So it's immediately going direct again and in Pisces. So it's just going to stop moving direct from that point. And then on the 28th of March, we've got Saturn is sextiling Pluto.
Yeah.
That's just, I think it's one of the, Saturn is in Aries, Pluto's in Aquarius. It's something that's unfolding.
Yeah.
Again, it's a soft aspect.
Yeah. It's just Saturn is doing that whole thing, the little dance with Neptune, or sorry, with Uranus and Pluto.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting,
Yeah.
And then we end the month on the 30th with Venus moving into Taurus.
Yeah.
So Venus is really moving ahead to the game there. Yeah.
Venus likes being in Taurus.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Next, we look at April 2026. So now on the 9th, Mars is moving into Aries. Mars is really not keeping up with the game, but Mars finally gets into its home sign. Mars is super confident in Aries.
Yes.
A lot gets done at this point. So this is in April. And then on the 15th, Mercury, now picking up speed, now finally moves into Aries. It comes out of Pisces after all that extended time and moves into Aries to join Mars and the rest of the gang.
Yeah.
So on the 17th, we've got the new moon in Aries, which is right at the end of the month. It's at 27 degrees Aries, and that will be happening there. Don't normally mention new moons, but I just did, so that's a bonus for you.
There you go.
And then on the 20th, the sun moves into Taurus.
Yeah.
So each month, of course, the sun is changing signs around the 21st, 20th, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that's always going to be happening.
Yeah.
And then on April 24th, Venus moves into Gemini. So Venus is trotting along now as well.
Yeah.
And at the same time, on the 26th, Uranus re-enters Gemini.
Yeah. So the little Venus-Uranus-Neptune conjunction, which
It's this combination
highly
of things.
recommend.
Yes.
I have that in my chart in Libra. So
It's fantastic.
good
And
conjunction.
Venus will be conjoining Uranus at that time. So Uranus is going into Gemini and it's not going back to Cancer. So all these outer planets, the Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus, are moving finally into their new sign. They're committing themselves to their new sign.
After a little
and they're not
retrograde
going
period.
back.
Exactly. It's a super interesting time.
So we're moving forward confidently now in these positive signs of Aries and with Uranus and Gemini.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, so having a look now at May 2026, on the 3rd, we've got Mercury moving into Taurus. Mercury's really moving along now.
Yeah.
Moving straight into Taurus, no problem there. And then on the 6th, we're going to be celebrating Beltane, again, another part of Wheel of the Year. We'll talk more about that later.
Yeah.
I don't really need to go into detail on that
Pluto
one.
goes retrograde the same day.
Then Pluto is stationing retrograde in Aquarius at 5 degrees.
Yeah.
So Pluto is going to be retrograde for about 5 months.
Yeah.
And
but it won't go back into Capricorn.
no,
more.
that we are now committed.
That's done.
The
Never
outer-
again.
Yeah, that
Not
was
in our lifetimes.
that was last year's and R. This
Yeah.
year, we're confidently with all of our outer planets are confidently moving through in the early degrees, which is great.
Yeah.
On the 17th, we've got Mercury now moving into Gemini. A good placement for Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini. Mercury
loves
likes
Gemini.
being in Gemini.
Yeah.
It's a good place there. And then the next day on the 18th, Mars is going to move into Taurus. Of course, now it's really slipping behind.
Yep.
Not very well placed there, but anyway, there it is.
Oh, hey, I've got Mars and Taurus.
I know, but it really makes it a soft Mars.
I do have a soft Mars.
A soft Mars, yeah.
I call it Ferdinand the Bull, if anyone's familiar with that
Ferdinand
lovely
the
children's
Bull.
story. The bull who they wanted him to be a fighter, but he just wanted to smell the roses. That's Mars and Taurus.
That's your Mars and Taurus, yeah.
Exactly.
I can't complain. I've got Mars and Virgo, and it's also a soft Mars, yeah.
We have the soft Marses. Yeah. But also, I believe the very next day, Venus enters Cancer. So
Exactly.
That's lovely.
Exactly. So Venus is then moving into Cancer.
Yeah.
By the time we get to the 21st, the sun enters Gemini, which is great. So, as we say, it's Gemini season.
Yeah.
And that's it really for May.
Yeah.
And so let's have a look at June.
Yeah.
On the 1st of June, Mercury enters Cancer.
Yep.
So we're all moving towards this now. And then later on the 13th, Venus enters Leo.
Yeah.
We like that.
Me too.
And then by the time we get to
It's such a great aspect for wedding season. I just have to throw that in there.
Yeah,
Anyone
it
get
is.
married this summer,
Absolutely.
Venus and Leo. Big ass
Absolutely.
wedding dresses.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
On the 21st, the sun moves into Cancer. So this is now the summer solstice.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a glorious weather. And then on the 21st of June, that will be lovely.
Yeah.
It's also known as Litha. And we'll talk more about that as well.
Yeah.
Then on the 28th, Mars is struggling to keep up. It's now moving into Gemini. Mars is doing its best, but it just doesn't move as fast as the other planets. Yeah. And then on the 29th of June, Mercury stations retrograde in Cancer. This is its second retrograde period for 2026 in water. So this time it's in Cancer.
Yeah.
So it's retrograde for about 3.5 weeks. And then finally, on the 30th of June, Jupiter enters Leo.
Yeah.
Drum roll, please.
Yes.
I think this is probably the most important ingress of 2026 because it's the only major planet who's making a new entry. The others have all been humming and hawing.
Yeah, there you go. And it's in Leo.
And as a Leo, I love when Jupiter's in Leo. It's a great time for, you can't hold me back.
It's going to be conjunct my midheaven at some point. So
no doubt.
Can't argue with that.
It'll be crossing your midheaven.
Love that.
Who knows what Arwynne will get up to? Right? We'll talk a lot more about. We've got an episode on Jupiter in Leo coming up, and that will be.
How much bigger can my hair get? Is the question.
Well, it's. I've never seen it so long in a long time. It's really it's just you're doing a good job with that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we'll be discussing Jupiter and Leo at great depth. That'll be towards June sometime next year. Yeah.
Placement.
Yeah. So I'm happy about that. So it's Arwynne. Then we look at July 2026. So now on the 7th, Neptune stations retrograde at 4 Aries. So it's going to go back, but it's still going to remain in Aries. This is now the point. Yeah. And then on the 9th, Venus enters Virgo. So Venus is lickety-split gone through Leo, now into Virgo. Yeah,
it's not detriment, but what is it? It's in its fall. Yes, and it's
not a good place. Yeah, it's the nitpicky Virgo.
Yeah. But I do love a Venus in Virgo. You have it.
I do.
My partner has it.
Yeah, it's there. It's definitely there.
We've talked about this before, but like an alarming number of my past relatives, they've all had Venus in Virgo.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they're doing something right if they're hooking up with me.
And here we are. What are we? 13 years in, and we're still here. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
not so bad.
Then on the 18th, we've got Uranus is trining Pluto. Now, this is going to be the first trine of 5 coming up. We have got an episode about this. I will link to it below.
Yeah, this aspect lasts for several years. It only occurs twice every 128 years.
Wow.
Last time was in 1922. The effects are mild since it's a trine and it's mostly running in the background, but it represents kind of a uniting of political power and technological discovery. So Pluto is about transformation and power structures, and Uranus is obviously about technology and revolution and big ideas. And it's wonderful to have these two heavy hitters.
It's good.
Trine.
It's a good year.
Yeah.
And this is the first of 5 direct passes. You can click through to our other post about this. So we've gone into it in a lot more detail, but this is the beginning of this now starting to unfold.
Yeah. And the fact that these two planets also have, kind of dealings with Uranus and Saturn, it's Jupiter as well.
Quite complicated.
It's like a lot of planets are kind of like messing with each other in the outer sphere, and it's all kind of in the trine and sextile situation. Yeah. So it's pretty lovely. Like
it is pretty good. I'm
a fan of this.
Yeah, so we've then got 3 things I'm just going to mention here. So on the 20th, we've got Jupiter is trining Neptune. Mm-hmm. On the 20th, we've also got Jupiter opposing Pluto.
Yeah.
And then on the 21st, we've got Jupiter is sextiling Uranus. So this month of July has got a lot of Jupiter energy and outer planet activity, but really it's all kind of the soft ones apart from the Jupiter opposing Pluto.
Yeah. But it's triggering these outer planets sextile and trine, so it's fantastic.
They're all moving into position, so that there's quite a lot going on there, which is kind of interesting. So it makes July going to be a time when bigger things happening, more undercurrent things are coming forward.
Yeah, and it's all in these fiery, airy kind of signs, which is wonderful.
Great. It's Leo, Aries. It's what more do you want?
Exactly. Leo, Aries, Aquarius. Yeah, and Gemini.
Yeah. And then we get to the 22nd, the sun enters Leo. Yay. Mm-hmm. So that's great. So then it'll cross my ascendant, my Mercury, and my Uranus, my sun, and it's all good for me.
Yeah.
And it'll cross your midheaven, no doubt. So it's a positive time. This is summer. I did mention that I'm probably going to be taking some time back.
August?
Stepping back. Well, in August, stepping back from my business during these times and not doing readings at that point to give myself time to recover.
The podcast will still be going on though. So
absolutely.
Don't you worry.
The show must go on.
Yeah.
The show must go on. But personally, I will find time to get some downtime for myself, and that's what I definitely want to do during this period. Yeah.
I'll be skating and tanning. Of course.
Yeah, of course you will. Of course you will. Yeah. And then on the 23rd, Mercury stations direct in Cancer. So it's done its retrograde period. It's going back now direct. On the 25th, we've now got Neptune sextile Pluto again.
Exactly.
We're gonna hear about this again. So that's popping up once more.
Yeah.
Then on the 26th of July, we've got Saturn stations retrograde in Aries.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go back for a little bit, which is fine.
It will stay in Aries.
It was going to stay in Aries, yeah. And then on July 27th, we've got a big shift as well. We've got the North Node moving into Aquarius and the South Node going into Leo. Now, this only happens every 2.5 years.
Yeah, so this is a big one.
This is a big one. We also will have a more detailed podcast episode about this more towards the time.
Yeah.
But again, it's bringing this Leo Aquarius vibe through that's kind of a backbone for 2026.
Absolutely. I love the North Node. It's a very interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to be digging deeper into that because, of course, the South Node is going to cross your midheaven. It's going to cross my ascendant, Mercury, Uranus, Sun, and all of these things. Yeah. And that's July. So then we're looking at August. Now, at this time, we've got on the 6th, we've got Venus moving into Libra. So that's a nice thing too.
Yep, I love it. I highly recommend Venus and Libra.
Yeah. Then on the 8th, we've got Lamas, which is another of the Wheel of the Year festivals when the sun is at 15 degrees Leo.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just mentioning that in passing. Yeah. Then on the 9th, Mercury steps into Leo, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
We like that indeed.
Yeah.
And then on the 11th, Mars is moving into Cancer. So it's doing a great job of trying to keep up there. Then we're into on the 12th of August, we're into the second eclipse season of the year. We've got a solar eclipse at 20 degrees Leo.
Yeah.
I don't know what degree your midheaven is. I can't remember.
I think it's around 12.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 12.
So this is going to be, it's not actually, I do have 3 Leo planets, but it's not connecting to any of them. But it's still, we got a solar eclipse in Leo. We'll celebrate that. And then on the 23rd, the sun leaves Leo and moves into Virgo.
Yeah.
Which is, a great thing.
It's always great. Yeah.
On the 25th, Mercury enters Virgo as well because, boom, if the sun goes in, Mercury's not far behind.
You're right.
Mercury's in Virgo. It loves that because it's sign it rules. It's going to hit all your Virgo planets, all my Virgo planets, all everybody's Virgo planets.
I do love a late August.
Yes. And then on the 28th, we've got the lunar eclipse. So this is the second eclipse of the second eclipse season. It's the last eclipse for the year. Lunar eclipse in Pisces.
4 degrees Pisces, in case you're counting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've got 5, but you're probably right.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yes, 4:54. So it might.
Okay. So, gosh, there's nothing like a Virgo to split some hairs. But anyway, whatever. It's happening there. We've got that lunar eclipse in Pisces, which is lovely. And then on the 31st, Jupiter is trining Saturn.
Yes. So 13 Leo and 13 Aries.
Yeah. So Jupiter's going to be trining Saturn. I'm not sure if it's the one and only time, but it's definitely Aries, Leo again. We're getting this monster energy from these big heavy-hitting planets, which is a great thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and then let's look at September. So
I've got one more August thing.
Oh, you do? What do you have?
I'm so sorry. I'm just going to jump in with a kite formation that happens on August 10th.
Okay.
Between Pluto, Uranus, Mercury, and Venus.
Okay.
And on the very same day, if that weren't enough, we have a mystic rectangle between Pluto, Neptune, Mercury, and Venus.
Oh,
so
amazing.
August 10th is just a big day as far as big aspect patterns are
and
happening.
my birthday's on the 11th. So
exactly.
So it will be my solar return.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot. Yeah, it's
all go, and it's all go.
happening in the sky. All the planets are like, can we join?
Yeah, let's get all this energy moving. That's great. Good that you picked that one up. Yeah. That was August the 10th, you say?
August 10th, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so then looking at September, on the 10th, we've got Venus moving into Scorpio. That's great.
Yeah.
And then Mercury is entering Libra. That's also on the same day. And on the same day as well, we've got Uranus stationing retrograde at 5 Gemini. So it's going to do a little retrograde there in Gemini, which is fine.
Yeah. And a new moon in Virgo, which we'll talk about later. We don't need to go into that. Yeah.
Okay. We got that.
It's a busy day.
Busy day. Then on the 16th of September, we've got Neptune sextile Pluto again.
Yeah.
Now, this is an aspect that's been there for nearly 100 years.
Yeah.
I've got it. Do you have it?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's got it. It's just, but it's still with us, unbelievably.
Yeah.
And then on the 23rd, the sun enters Libra, which is great. So that then is the equinox.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about that as well. On the 28th, then Mars is moving into Leo, which is always a good thing for us Leo folk. We do like a bit of energy.
Mars in Leo is awesome.
Yes. And then on September the 30th, Mercury enters Scorpio. So
Also
that's
awesome.
right at the very end. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's September.
Yeah.
During October 2026, we have on the 3rd, we've got Venus stationing retrograde in Libra.
Yeah.
Now, Venus is not retrograde every year. It's only retrograde 5 years out of 8. And this year it's going to be retrograde over Scorpio Libra. It's crossing that sign boundary.
Yeah.
So anyway, so if you've got planets between 22 Libra and 8 Scorpio, you're going to get a triple hit from Venus.
Yes.
Which might be a good idea. If you've got Venus there, it's your Venus return 3 times coming round.
Yeah.
So there's quite a bit going on there. And the fact that it's happening in Libra, where it's in its dignities getting a +5 on Ptolemy's scale, and in Scorpio, where it's in its detriment getting a -5, it's a very complex retrograde for Venus. And astrologically, you would want to, if you've got it in planets in Libra, that will be beneficial more so than the ones in Scorpio.
So if you're planning a wedding for next fall, would you say to avoid that time?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And don't even get married the week before it's going to go retrograde. Why would you do that?
Exactly.
Wait till the retrograde period has finished. And
I mean, if you can't do it in August or early September,
just don't get married when Venus is retrograde. You haven't got hope. Yeah.
You heard it here.
Yeah, well, you haven't. And we see it all the time. We see it all the time.
I'm usually the one with the dark doom and gloom, but Alice is
no, do not get married at that
You
time.
have
Absolutely.
no hope.
Wait till it's finished, because you don't even want to get married before the retrograde happens, because the week before.
The shadow phase.
Because you're still going to get the retrograde over your marriage chart. You don't want that. No, wait till it's past. It only happens 5 times in 8 years. You can wait another month.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, then on the 10th, we've got Uranus stationing in retrograde in Gemini. That's just its annual retrograde happening then. And then on the 16th, once more, we've got Neptune sextiling Pluto.
Yeah.
I haven't even checked how many times this is happening. It must be at least 7, 8, or 9 times. It's definitely non-stop, that aspect.
I feel like it's just in orb all
It's
year.
just background noise,
there.
isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Then on the 23rd, the sun is entering Scorpio, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And on the 25th, that's when Venus re-enters Libra, going retrograde.
Yeah.
So it was in Scorpio. It retrograded out of Scorpio back into Libra, which is, as I said a moment ago, the better kind of part of it. But
Still
anyway.
not safe to get married yet, though.
No, don't get it.
Don't do it.
And why not? Because Venus is going to come back and address your marriage, and you're going to question it when Venus gets there. I think, whatever did I see in him?
Yeah, or like, looking through his phone. Oh, what is this? Who is this girl?
Well, what the heck?
Yeah.
What are these socks doing lying here? You've no idea how bad it can get until it happens to you. So that's October.
Yes.
Then we get to November 2026. So on the 8th, I got Samhain, which is, I'm not saying it right. Samhain.
Yeah.
Which is technically when the sun reaches 15 Scorpio, but we would have celebrated Halloween on the 31st because this is the real world. Yeah. And then on the 13th of November, Venus finally stations direct.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Mercury direct and Venus direct.
Yes.
Right around.
Okay.
Yeah, both on the 13th. Yeah.
So we got that there. On the 14th, Venus is stationing direct in Libra, which is great. And then on the 22nd, the sun enters Sagittarius. Fun. By the time we get to the 25th of November, Mars is entering Virgo. How exciting is that?
Pretty exciting.
And that's November. Then for December 2026, we start off on the 4th. Venus re-enters Scorpio, now direct, having another go at that Scorpio. And on the 6th, Mercury enters Sagittarius, which is fine.
Yeah.
And then on the 10th, Saturn now stations direct at 7 Aries. So that's great. It's now recovering itself and moving forward.
Yeah.
And then on the 12th, Neptune stations direct in Aries. So everything's kind of shifting.
1 degrees Aries.
Yeah.
Delightful.
Shifting there. Then on the 13th of December, we've got Jupiter stationing direct in Leo.
Yeah.
So Jupiter's going to on the 13th of December and will remain retrograde till the end of the year. It's just how long it's going to take to do that. which is fine. And then on the 21st, the sun enters Capricorn, which is
Yeah.
good news. Of course, that's the winter solstice. It's Yule. It's Saturnalia. It's all these things we love.
Totally.
And then on the 25th of December, Christmas Day, Mercury will move into Capricorn, which is probably be neither here nor there, but I don't know what the conversation will be like around the Christmas dining room table.
We never can
It'll
predict
probably
that.
get onto politics, if anything.
Yeah, it almost always does, right?
Yeah, Mercury Capricorn, it's got to be. It's not going to be lighthearted. Yeah. So those are the actual main movements that are happening during 2026. So there's quite a lot going on in 2026, but the major superior planet is Jupiter moving into Leo. That's really the only planet changing sign for the first time for something new.
Right.
That's the first time in 12 years. But we've got the nodes shifting too, but also moving into Leo.
Yeah.
And there's all this Aries Leo action, all this fire going on.
So much fire. I love that.
It's like it's going to be a year where I want to say fun things got done, if anything.
Yeah, let's hope.
You know. Yeah. And so for transit of the year, I'm going to have to say that for me, it's going to be the Jupiter entering Leo.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got a different view on any of that.
So I'm going to pick Neptune and Aries, like if we had to choose, you know.
Okay. Transit of the year.
Transit of the year. Neptune. Only because Neptune takes 144 years to move around the zodiac. And the fact that it's moving into Aries, it's crossing the Aries point.
Yes.
And also Saturn is.
In living memory.
Honestly, Saturn and Neptune both moving into Aries this year, I think is pretty epic. So that is my selection.
That's great. And that immediately trines into the Jupiter moving into Leo as well.
Totally. Yeah. It's fiery. It's action. It's fire. It's movement. It's like, let's stop this rehashing. Let's stop this like blaming. Let's stop this
let's live a bit more.
Whatever.
But your inspiration, the fire thing.
Exactly. It's
stop the blame game and just get things done.
Honestly, yeah.
And I always think it's a time to, with fire, when fire's strong, it's a time for us as humans to tap into our natural inspiration and create something new.
I mean, I hardly have anything in fire. I've got just Neptune in Sagittarius. That's the only fire I have in my entire chart.
Oh, wow.
But I still appreciate fire because, yes, like let's just get something done. There will be time to overthink and to emotionalize and to be triggered
and to rehash.
And to think and to negotiate and to kind of hash out who gets what.
Yeah.
But let's just move forward.
Yeah.
Yes, let's be fiery this year. And
this nodal movement, because the nodes go retrograde, so the South node's entering Leo, but it's entering at the 29th degree. And of course, we know the South node generally represents your past and what you're bringing forward.
Yeah.
And again,
mastered.
Yeah. So we're going to bring forward all that in Leo, all that creativity and positive attitudes, and hopefully there'll be a shift instead of it's all this blaming thing.
Yeah.
And all this politics that is just so incredibly boring, I've got to say, because nothing is changing.
Boring, exhausting, annoying, worrying if you are the kind of person who tends to overthink things and are like, oh, what does this mean? What does this mean? Oh, why is...
But my life's not changing. You know, I'm still paying the same rent and buying the same, at the shop.
Yes, well, maybe things are a little more expensive, but that's always going to happen.
Yeah,
just in
but really, the grind that goes on, I don't need to know about it. And hopefully, with all this Leo energy coming forward towards as this year unfolds, I can only hope that it will tap into the good side of Leo, which has to be the honesty, the creativity,
the generosity,
the positive outlook.
Yeah.
Rather than this doom and gloom stuff that is just wearing me down.
100%. I totally couldn't agree more.
So it's very interesting how we've got all this fire coming through. And I remember 2015 was a year with a lot of fire too.
Yeah.
And a lot got people were like invigorated to move forward and be positive and start things. So hopefully, and of course you and I do have quite a few features in Leo, so we're going to get transits across our fire, and hopefully we know they're coming. We're going to lean into it. Well, I am, and I know you will, as all this stuff crosses your midheaven.
Totally.
Who knows what you're going to be known for by the end of 2026?
Well, exactly.
as opposed to
Who knows?
what you're known for now, or whatever it is. And,
Yeah.
if I had my way, you'd get your book out with your 365 goddesses and all the rest of it and that kind of thing.
It will happen. Yeah.
The thing is there. It's just a matter of loving what you're doing. And as humans this is our benefit over the chimpanzees, basically.
Well,
that
exactly.
We can
Exactly.
create.
So we've got Pluto in Aquarius, and we've got all these other things that are coming up in Leo. And the prevalence of Leo, I think, and the prevalence of fire this year is all about the resurgence of the human.
Yes.
The resurgence of the human. AI is a tool. It is not going to replace us. It is not going to subjugate us. It is a tool for us to use to fulfill our human ambitions.
Yeah.
And that is the goal of this entire year. And it's this entire lifetime, really, because what are we here for? We're here to create, to make impressions on people, to procreate. Some of us choose to do that. And also to make impressions on other people and to just create relationships, to create art, to create music.
It's the human condition, right?
Yes. Yeah. So,
I mean, to quote the Bible, they say, in the beginning, God created. He is a creator, and he created humans in his
image to continue creating.
And this is what separates us.
Exactly. We've created AI. AI can create as well, but it actually can only parrot. And that's fine. It's wonderful for what it does, but it does it for us. Yeah. It's not going to replace us.
No.
And
it's like when microwaves were invented, they were saying, you won't need an oven. You can cook everything in a microwave. And of course you can't. All people do now is heat things up in a microwave. But everyone's got one. And you just heat things up.
I actually don't have a microwave. But anyway,
everyone except Arwynne's got one. And you just heat things up. And but when microwaves came out, they were saying, this is it. You don't need an oven. It's the future.
But you don't go to a restaurant and have them cook something in a microwave. It's not like it's done away with.
But it's a tool.
Cuisine. It's a tool. Exactly. Yeah. And so is AI. AI is never going to create the next great novel. And
this year is going to prove that.
Yes.
Because of the writing that's going to go out, the art that's going to come forward, the music that will come forward during this 2026.
AI will do the equivalent of making popcorn or warming up your leftovers, but it will never write the next great novel.
No.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm very positive for this year, which is, when I went through and did all this thing, I thought, this is going to be a good year because it's hitting my planets really mainly, and yours too. And, we're going to be able to flourish and enjoy life.
Yeah.
Live life to the full. I mean, I know we're all getting older and maybe a little creakier, but I'm living my life the best that it's ever been, to be honest.
Me too, absolutely. Yeah.
Listen to us,
I know. Yeah. It's funny. Like you see these, I don't know, like on Facebook or some other app or whatever, where they show, look at 10 years ago, look at 5 years ago. And it's always like, thank you for showing me the pet that passed away. Like I needed to see that. But I'm happier now.
Yes.
I'm always happier now.
Yes. Yes. It's
like, okay, that happened before, but
we're living in good times.
Yeah.
So I hope it goes for everyone as well, that they can tap into their inner creativity and enjoy life and smile and let their heart sing.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
And be generous, even if you don't feel like you're the happiest you've ever been.
Yeah.
Or that you're living your life, your best life, and living your life to the fullest. Even so, that doesn't prevent you from being generous and being optimistic and sharing love with people. Love doesn't cost you anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So listen to So anyway, I think it's going to be a fabulous year. Astrologically, I like this year.
I do too.
Good.
I'm very optimistic.
So the one thing I do want to point out about the planets retrograding during the course of the year is that this year, 2026, Mars is direct the whole year.
Wow.
So Mars only goes retrograde once in 2 years. So it was retrograde last year and it will be retrograde next year.
Yeah.
But in 2026, it's just moving forward. It's going all the way from Capricorn, all the way around to Virgo, direct.
That's awesome.
I know, it's great. We've got that. We've got Mercury 3 times and Venus just the one. So there it is. But this time, and in case people were thinking, why didn't they talk about Mars? It's because it's not going retrograde.
Yeah.
So all that energy is being put forward towards whatever it is you're trying to achieve.
It seems like a very progressive, forward-looking year.
It does.
Everything is just all go. There's nothing happening that's like super frightening or no, it's
We haven't
awesome.
got some. Yeah, it's very good. I'm really happy
I mean,
with it.
as much as much as there are frightening things happening in the world, and yes, there are, like, we are not denying that. I think this next year actually looks very auspicious.
And I think for our listeners too, who have the privilege of listening to this podcast
Yes.
or watching the YouTube, is that you too can lean into this positive energy and make it a great year. And why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, positivity it's not something that happens to you. You pay it forward. Like, we create this field, we share it amongst each other.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this episode, we've been looking at the 2026 look ahead. We've been looking at a high-level look at what's happening astrologically, planets changing signs, a couple of the eclipses, well, all of the eclipses, and any major things that have been cropping up. As the year unfolds, of course, we will be doing our monthly overarches as well, and certainly with the big moves, Arwynne and I will be having specific podcast episodes more towards the time when these events occur. So this has been great. It's been a very uplifting episode. So I just want to thank our listeners. And if you found value in this episode, please do consider sharing it with anybody who would be interested. Make sure you're getting our newsletter, and you can sign up at starzology.com/newsletter. Additionally, make sure you're getting Arwynne's newsletter, and you could find Arwynne
I'm at mspink.net. That's mspink.net. And I send out my newsletter every Saturday. I am talking about goddesses and art and politics a little bit, and popular culture and books and personal stories.
Yeah, it's a great read. It really is. Yeah. If you want to email us, you can email us at starzology@gmail.com, and we'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Thanks so much for getting this far through the episode. I just want to take a moment to tell you about the two main options of my astrology services. So the first one is coaching. If you are an aspiring astrologer, and by that I mean someone who's perhaps a hobbyist astrologer, or someone who's learning astrology, or a student, or you've got a few books and you've been doing it for a while, but perhaps you need a little bit of help to bring it all together, then maybe getting some astrological coaching from me would be the answer for you. The astrology coaching I offer is a 1-hour session on Zoom, and it's tailored to answer your particular questions. For example, if you have issues with natal chart readings, we can go there. Or if you're having problems working with your forecasting, we can go there. Or even basic astrology stuff, or even getting yourself organized for your astrology business. The idea is that astrological coaching will answer your particular questions. It's tailored specifically to you and where you are in your astrological journey. And I'm happy to help you out with some guidance about how you can get going, what to focus on, and what to dismiss. So that would be the astrological coaching for people trying to learn astrology. The second astrological service I offer is consultations. So this is for someone who perhaps doesn't know anything about astrology, but they just want to have their chart read or get their chart done. Call it what you will. So once more, this is a 1-hour consultation over Zoom. I will interpret your chart, tell you about the main features, tell you about where the energy is flowing, and all the rest of what is entailed in a thorough natal chart interpretation. I can also add in some forecasting in there too, bearing in mind we only have 1 hour. So just in summary, I've got coaching for people who want to learn astrology, and I've got consultations for those who want to get an astrology reading done. I'm Alison Price from Starzology.com. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.